1,000 words ain't enough to define the body up, yeah. Got her look and she wants it back. She's firing up that body up, yeah, babe. You think that I want you, but nah, babe. You're one in a million, but it's not for me. I'm not into girls with a plastic trace. Don't take it too personally, yeah. My fault, my bad. The word's out, but you weren't ready for it.
What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. Oh, what's up? What's up? I had to try to find some music. I had to try to find some music that was kind of smooth, like what they play in, across the Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? You see I'm Spider-Man now? We ready. We ready to talk. I know a lot of you did not see the movie yet, but that's okay. That's okay. There's going to be some spoilers, some minor ones. I'm sorry. It's just going to happen. I did the hustle. I just did the hustle. And yo, Derpy Entertainment, yes. Okay. But before we even get started, I just like to say, everybody, there was a successful, and I'm not going to say successful because of T-Mobile, there was a successful resolution of my cell phone T-Mobile problem. Just to let y'all know, this is just a follow-up from last week's live stream, okay? Before we get into the review. But the funny part was I went to the T-Mobile store to get the replacement that they ordered. But because I was upset and because I switched, because I switched carriers, they wouldn't give me the replacement. So I had to make some more phone calls, get a hold of the insurance company again, which they gave me a replacement. And I was able to successfully do what I needed to do and have a working phone delivered to me. Now, this message is for T-Mobile. One more time. Screw you, T-Mobile. I hope all of y'all kick rocks, and I hope all your towers fall down. That's all I'm going to go ahead and say. Sorry for people who have T-Mobile. It is what it is, and that's the deal. So my running hashtag for the rest of the year is screw T-Mobile. So that's the end of that. And I'm not even going to get into how the T-Mobile store called the cops on me. I'm not even going to talk about that. You want to follow that? I'll do something later and talk about that and how asinine that was. But let's talk about what we came here for. My man Miles across the Spider-Verse. Man, my masking software, it's just showing all sorts of stuff, man. It's showing all. I can't. You know what? Sometimes these virtual backgrounds, they're a hot mess. They are a hot mess, but I got to use them because y'all don't want to see the mess that's behind me. I know some people, y'all kind of like my office. It's cool. I get it. But, it is what it is. So, Derpy Entertainment is all up in the live chat doing his thing. And I get it. I really, really get it. I mean, across the Spider-Verse, I'm going to tell you, this the mode that it went from beginning to end, it was a well developed story. For those of you who watch the channel, I'm a big Disney Marvel fan. I'm a big MCU fan, and there's no doubt about it. There's no, hiding it. I lean towards the MCU. Was everything with the MCU perfect? No. There's some that are here. There's some that are here. I'm not going to say any of them are super bad. I will just say some of them just don't stay completely on track. Now, I dog DC out, but I can't wait to see Flash in a couple of weeks. That's going to be great. I have a feeling it's going to be great, despite the actors. It's going to be great, but despite the main actor, let's put it that way, and his off-screen hijinks. But let's go ahead and get into this. Now, for the longest, I used to get mad at Sony. I used to get completely upset with Sony because they would not give Spider-Man to the greater Marvel universe. And, because for somebody like me that grew up reading comic books, the face of Marvel Comics was not the Hulk. It was kind of. We had a big three. It wasn't, Iron Man wasn't in the big three back in the day. Thor was not in the big three back in the day. Your big three, for me growing up in Marvel Comics, was Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hulk. If you wasn't one of those three, pretty much you're done. Pretty much you wasn't gonna make it. But what I'm going to say is, as we move forward, there are things that we see, but we come to Into the Spider-Verse, the last animated film, which I'll be honest with you, soundtrack banging, okay, portrayal of the characters banging, all that bag of chips, all that best food you could ever eat. It was like getting your favorite meal, okay, and eating it, and then just being completely satisfied. But then somebody says, you know what? I know you're full. Let me give you your favorite dessert, and you're going to eat all of it because even though you're full, you're going to love this. You're not overstuffing. You're going to be satisfied. And Into the Spider-Verse did that because it was not so much an action Spider-Man story. It was a coming-of-age, growing story. It was things that moved people forward. And it was like, wow, this was awesome. So how can you get a sequel to this? Which we knew there was going to be a sequel. Okay? Soundtrack. Slamming. Watch out, danger. Oh, my God. Every song on that original soundtrack was banging. Brooklyn's finest. Miles Morales. Now, we move into the next. We get a couple of years later. Now we get into Across the Spider-Verse. And one of my complaints in the beginning was they were showing so much in trailers. Just everything was coming out in trailers. And it was like, okay. You're so showing a lot. So I know Miles is going to get into it with all these people. Okay? But here goes my thing. I did not know the depths or why until I saw the movie. Now, I am going to sit here and say this was an excellent story. The story, it was just, I have no words. I'm looking at the comments, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to agree with you, Derpy Entertainment. I'm going to agree with you because you commented. The thing is it's like when you got a musical soundtrack banging, then you've got a backstory that was just so in depth. And I'm trying my best not to spoil this for people who did not see the movie, but the premise of you control your destiny. And that right there, that's not a spoiler, but that's some good words of advice. You control your destiny. You, meaning an individual, There is nothing that you can't make a change to. And that's what Miles is. That's what Miles is about. Miles is not about, oh, this is going to happen. I'm a superhero. I'm going to throw down. Bang, 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 bang. I beat the villain. Yay, everybody pat me on the back. This ain't it. This is a story about growth and responsibility, which Spider-Man, that's what Spider-Man is all about. With great power comes what? Great responsibility. And as a continuation from the last animated feature, this hit all lines perfectly. All lines. To see all of the different Spider-Man, all of the different variations across, to see connections to the greater MCU. Yes, I know this is a Sony film, but the great part is the cameos. The great part is the shout outs to all that was Spider-Man in the past, present, and future in this across every genre. Lego, live action, 1967 animated, comic book. Oh my. Even spanning across the world with the variations. Spider-Punk, Spider-Man in India. Oh my gosh. Now somebody gonna sit out there and say, oh, this too damn woke. Why they gotta have all these different Spider-Man? Somebody gonna cry about that. But this is all stuff that's happened in the comic book for years. For years. I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, Spider-Mobile. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dino Spider-Man. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, yes. I'm like, come on. You can't get better than this. But was this a Miles story? The first one was a Miles story. This one is more of a Spider-Man, Spider-Person story. Yes, the focus on this story was not solely on Miles, but split between Miles and Gwen. Yes, it was. And the way different. Now, let's get honest. Let's get honest. There's product placement. Everybody does in everything they do some product placement, whether they're sponsored or not. As I take a sip of this Dogfish Head Distilling Company Vodka Mule. Product placement. Okay? So product placement, we've had that Burger King Spider Burger, across the Spider-Verse burger meal, that made an appearance. The Hyundai Ioniq 6, that made an appearance. You know, Jordans, yes, the Jordans for you sneakerheads, they made an appearance. So come on, let's get realistic here. Movies, you know, those companies paid a lot for the product placement. And yes, we enjoyed it. It was okay. It was quick. It was fast. Sony. All the equipment. Yo, Miles got some gear because Miles be having like Sony gear left and right. But we all know, as evidence from my shirt, Sony Spider-Man, you know, the exclusive PlayStation. It is what it is. It goes there. But here goes the line. This right here was an excellent story. Now, I really hope that the next iteration of this, known as Beyond the Spider-Verse, because the cliffhanger they left us with had me shook. The cliffhanger they left us with had my grandson mad, son. The movie was over. He was like, yo, what? It was like Infinity War vibes all over again. Heroes at their down, darkest, lowest moment with the smallest gleam of hope. And that's what was going down. Okay? No after credits, folks, so you don't have to sit around. The best thing I could say to after credits was when they said, hey, come back for Beyond the Spider-Verse. It is what it is. And I will say, I will be sitting tall in the theater And I think the release date for that is March right now. March. I will sit in March. I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to be like, yeah, me and my boy, we're going to be right there doing our thing watching this. Now, some people would say, there's one thing that I really enjoyed and that I need Marvel, MCU, and Sony to get done. And this is a spoiler. And it's already on YouTube. So if you're going on YouTube, you see this spoiler. If you're going online, they're going to show this spoiler. It's my man Glover. Now, we all know Glover was the inspiration for Miles Morales when Brian Michael Bendis saw him do his thing on Community. Here goes my thing. He showed up in Spider-Man. Okay, what was that? No Way Home, Far From Home, the first Spider-Man, live action with Tom Holland. He showed up as Miles' uncle, right? Okay. He shows up in this movie, and I'm sorry this is a spoiler for some of you. He shows up as a live action Aaron Davis Prowler. I could barely contain myself in the theater. My grandson looked at me like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I was like a little kid, okay? I was like a little kid. But that right there needs to happen on film, live action. Tom Holland, Donald Glover, Prowler, Uncle Aaron, Miles, Tom Holland. Now, we don't have to kill off Tom Holland. We don't have to go full Ultimate Universe. We don't. Not necessary. Okay. Also, in this, I can see they did do some minor connections to the greater MCU because as they were talking about the Spider-Verse, it looked very familiar. It looked almost exactly like the Sacred Timeline and the branches from the TVA. So even though we did not have a Kang in this one, I wonder what they're going to do with Jonathan Majors. This is just the wait. But what I'm going to go ahead and sit back and say to you, the viewer, is patience is a virtue, but I can see the connections. And we got Secret Wars coming out. They said it's going to be a Secret Wars. And the way they did this, mix of animation, live action, all sorts of different animation styles, that's going to be where they make the money. I mean, this is top box office this weekend. I didn't even look it up. I didn't even see how much, because we know this was going to kill it. Now, it may even kill Transformers next weekend. I don't know. I'll start calling out numbers next weekend, because I am going to try to check out Transformers. We're going to make that do what it do. But man, when I tell you, this right here, on the going full nerd scale, ladies and gentlemen, it's June 2023. It got 120 mil. Thank you. Thank you, Ernest. I appreciate it. You ready? You ready for it? June 4th, 2023. Going Full Nerd gives out his first 5 out of 5 for the year. Perfectly nerdy. Oh, yes, I did it. Make note. Hold me to this. This one was a perfect 5 out of 5 on the Going Full Nerd scale. Holla at your boy. Be mad if you want. But man, I say to you, I put this out here for you. Is the next one going to do that? Is the next one going to conclude this series? Now, if you're taking kids and you're taking people and you're going to see this movie, I still say there should be a seizure warning on this, because the glitch effect, just like the first one, is pretty intense. So if you're sensitive to flashing lights and things like that, please take caution when you go see this movie or watch it. Whoa! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, Ms. Jones. Thanks for it. Appreciate. Yep. See, that's where we going. Appreciate the donation and the live donation to the channel. But yo, you got to go see this movie. This is it, y'all. This is the first 5 out of 5 on Going Full Nerd this year. The first. I don't know if it's going to be the last, but it's the first. That's the bottom line up front. This is what a movie is supposed to be. Action, entertainment, a message. Oh my gosh. The message of the movie is, that's what gave to me. It gave it the 5 out of 5. Okay? This movie is for kids. It's 100% for the kids. Okay? Because if the kids can understand the message, which is nothing's written in stone, you can control your destiny. You choose to be successful. You choose to fail. Nothing is written in stone. You are not, don't take things at face value. You could control, you could save that person. That's what that movie is saying. And you can't miss that. That's, I mean, I sat back, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not want to give it a 5 out of 5. I don't want to give anything a 5 out of 5. I want to be hard on it. It is what it is. I like to be hard on movies. I want them to mess something up. I want them to mess something up. I mean, what can I complain about? There's nothing in this film that I could complain about. There was representation across the board. Okay? There was a message across the board. I mean, the idea, and I'm going to say this, and this is just to go out there. It's the cool thing. I will check on that, Ms. Jones, to see. It's not automatic renewal for the memberships. I think you got to actively do it, so we'll see. Here goes the thing about this, and this is what I'm going to go ahead and say. When you got my grandson, I really put a lot into Miles, okay, because my grandson is one that he says, "Hey, that's me." Two out of my 3 grandsons could sit there and say, "That's me." Why? Because both my grandsons. 2 of my grandsons are half black, half Puerto Rican. That's Miles. Right there. That's Miles. Okay? I got to get them to speak Spanish like Miles. But that's them. And, you know, you see it in the trailers. And I think a lot of people miss the point in trailers. And I think they do this with trailers. They want to get you hyped. They want to get you excited. They want you to show up into the movie theater. But there's a line from the trailer. And it's a line in the movie that people may say is a bypass. It's a bypass line. And that line is, I can do both. Okay? Don't limit yourself to one thing. You can do both. Okay? For the movie, it's, can I save one person versus a group of people? You can do both. You see what I'm saying? That's the key. But hey, guys, I got to go. My doorbell's ringing. I got to bounce. Please, just remember, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. Send it to me. Let me put that out there. And guess what? Peace, y'all. I'm out of here. Y'all made history. First 5 out of 5. Let's hit that funky outro music. And I am Gone today. Boom. I hope y'all like this. I tried to get something, along the lines of Spider-Man.
1,000 words ain't enough to define the body of.
Because if you think you can't do it all, it's straight lies. And that's the name of this cut that I got to play in the background with the music. It's called Lies.
You think that I want you, but not, babe. You're one in a million.
Here goes the great thing, folks. You guys are awesome. Hey, appreciate the super chat, Ms. Jones. This is all good. I'm glad you love the review. I'm glad you love the message. Hey, super chat is always open. So if anybody wants to donate to the channel, hey, we do. I haven't been pushing it as much, but we have the Children's Hospital thing going on. It's every November, and we're trying to gather up the funds so we can make that big donation. So let's go ahead and do that. And last but not least, I want to thank everybody for joining in. So if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. It is awesome. And that soundtrack is amazing. Matter of fact, I think we might have a membership giveaway. So if you don't already have your membership, go check. Make sure your membership is coming out. And we're going to have a membership giveaway. I think I need to go ahead and give away a soundtrack to Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. All right? We'll figure it out by the end of the week. Peace, y'all. I'm out.